Okay, so what is detachment? So, the way that I define detachment is it's really just understanding that nothing belongs to you and everything that you need, you already have. So, it's kind of like everything that is external to you, you have no desire, you have no emotional attachment to it. I guess that's really what it is. So, when I think about, me like a few years ago, I was very attached to things. Like, for example, when I was in high school, I was super attached to like items of clothing. When I was a kid, I was attached to my toys, right? So it's this kind of emotional bond that you have with an object, and it can be also applied to people, right? So like having attachment to a person. So let's say your significant other, um, just feeling like if you were to lose them, it would be as if you lost a part of yourself, right? So there's like a sense of wholeness that you get from being with them, right? So I think that the the major advantage of practicing detachment is understanding that you don't need anything outside of yourself. And the beautiful thing about this is that when you practice this and when you embody this in your life, it doesn't mean that you're just going to be alone your entire life. You're never going to attract a significant other or anything like that, that you're not going to have nice things. It's just a way of living where things will naturally come to you without you even needing to seek them out because you are so open to receiving them. And what tends to happen, especially in our world where people are constantly they're constantly chasing things like money and like relationships. Like it's not like we weren't raised in a way where we were told like just sit back and wait for it to come. We were told to go out and seek it, right? That how are you going to get it if you don't seek it? So there's like a rewiring that has to be done in your brain where you have to become comfortable with being by yourself, with having only yourself. You have to find the gratitude, first of all, in what you do have, the things that you do have around you, yet build this detachment. So, like the things that you have around you, you're grateful for them, but you also understand that they are not yours. You know what I mean? So, how I think of this is, we came into this world babies, and we came into this world with nothing except for love, right? Um, and our emotions. Our emotional experience is the only thing that we truly have at birth and when we die. But everything outside of us is just a bonus. It's just like a cool extra thing that you have, right? So when you start to embody this and you shift your mindset to moving from, you know, I need these things, or you know, my worth is based on how much of this I have, how much money I have, how big my house is. Um, and so much of society, like, puts this message out that you need to have all of these things, that your worth is proportional to your wealth or whatever it is, and that wealth is something that is determined by the amount of money that you have, right? But the truth is that when you can practice this detachment, you realize that you really need nothing outside of yourself. And when you need nothing outside of yourself, things come to you. Things come to you because you are emitting a frequency, right? We're energetic beings. Everything has energy. Everything's always vibrating. Everything's always in motion to a certain extent. So when you are chasing something, when you are wanting something desperately, Do you notice how often it's extremely hard for you to get that thing? It feels like, damn, no matter what I do, it's like I just can't get it. You know, it's like you're a bunny and you're asking for a carrot and you're like the person with the carrot just keeps freaking like putting it away from you, like throwing it away from you, and you're like, what the heck? I just want my carrot. And that's literally how the universe works. It's like because how it works is like when you want something desperately, you're emitting this frequency of like desperation. Like it's like it's you're emitting a frequency which is repelling the very thing that you want. And to kind of like make you understand this a little bit better, so the thing that you want is not actually what you want. What you want is the feeling that you associate with having that thing, right? Because again, go back to who we are. We weren't born with a Maserati waiting for us in the parking lot. Like, we weren't born claiming these objects as ours, and we're gonna die, and those objects are not gonna be ours anymore, right? So, it's really important to like realize that you're really chasing an experience at the end of the day. You're chasing an experience, you're chasing something that is going to trigger some kind of emotional reaction from you. And that emotional reaction is through these chemicals that are released in your brain and in your body, these neurotransmitters, which make you feel a certain type of way. They can make you feel happy, they can make you feel excited, they can make you feel motivated to get more of that thing, right? So, if you understand that what you want is just the feeling of having that thing, then if you just practice that feeling of like already having that thing, you're not even going to want the thing anymore. And it's really crazy. It's really insane because I I actually practiced this for like a month and a half, 2 months ish, and I was practicing already having the thing. And by the end of this, I really got to a point where it was like I didn't even need to see things change anymore because I had already felt as if I had that experience, right? And it's very crazy. It's very crazy, but it eliminates so much of our suffering because so much of our suffering is just caused from like wanting things outside of ourselves. Like wanting something outside of yourself and refusing to look inward and figure out what is actually triggering that. Why do I want this thing? Do I not feel worthy enough as I am? Do I not feel as though I deserve to have it already, as if I already have it in this now moment? Because you already have everything, you know? And it's only a matter of time before the thing that you want presents itself in your physical reality. But what is it that causes us this impatience, this idea that like it needs to come now, it needs to come now? And then we self sabotage our way into not even getting what we want because we start to do things with this idea in mind that this is going to get me to my goal, not realizing that we're blocking the blessings from coming by themselves, right? Like if I want to go on a vacation and I'm thinking I have to pick up 4 jobs just to be able to afford that vacation because obviously the cost of living is insane, then I'm spending all this time at all of these jobs and I'm I'm blocking myself from allowing myself to just feel as though I already deserve to be on the trip. I am already on the trip. It is already happening for me right now. And I'm doing these steps in a logical fashion. And it's like I'm doing and I'm doing and I'm doing. And then the trip comes around. And the crazy thing is, because you're so attached, because your expectations are so high, because having expectations is also a cause of our suffering. Um, because your expectations are so high, I feel like what tends to happen is that you will find ways to be ungrateful for things on that trip. You will find ways to see things unfolding for you that in your mind are like, oh, damn, I knew this would happen. damn, the resort wasn't nice enough. If only I had worked a little bit more, then I would have gotten a better resort, you know? Or the flight was delayed and you think, oh my gosh, this just ruined the whole thing. And I speak from my personal experience. You may have a different experience, but you know, I feel like when I put a lot of pressure on a situation and I have a huge emotional attachment to it, which doesn't really happen anymore, but when I used to, things would always go wrong. Things would almost always go wrong because I was expecting them to be perfect. I was expecting things to just be exactly how I planned them out in my head. And of course, that's never going to happen. It's things are just unfolding, they're revealing themselves. So you have to change yourself to become accepting of whatever unfolds for you. That is the key to detachment. That is the key to joy, unconditional joy, I believe. To no longer expect things to roll out the way that you think they will, and just allow them to be, and understand that everything in this life is borrowed. Everything in this life is borrowed. And when you train yourself to detach, is when you will start to see blessings coming your way in the physical world. And when they start coming your way, you will be prepared for that because the universe is not going to give you things when it knows that you will have a strong emotional reaction to it. It's not going to give you a Maserati when it knows that you're going to be like, oh my God, what? Because the Maserati is going to come to you and you're literally going to reject it because you don't feel worthy of it. You don't feel deserving of it. You don't feel like it's yours already. It doesn't make sense. Things have to match in your mental and in your physical, right? There has to be some kind of a match there. So it's very, very important for you to practice detachment and understand that everything that you seek, you already have within you. You already have within you. And my number one suggestion for practicing detachment is meditation. Because meditation forces you to block out the noise. And when you block out the noise is when you can get more clear-minded and when you can actually start to go inwards into the different sheaths of the self and really do some magic in your physical reality. So that's my recommendation. I can definitely make a video on meditation. It's something I've been practicing for a while. But I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear your perspective on detachment. Have you been practicing it and what do you think? And yeah, I love you so much. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Bye.